We are coming to serve the platform. We are coming to serve the platform out of great love. Today is the day I'm still working on Sunday in the factory, and I'm going to go home only after 12 in the night. Throughout the week, we work till 12 in the night, and it's exhausting. And amidst all that, we find time to answer our brethren. So when people come assertively saying that, where are the teachers and where are the brothers? Brother, that is a very arrogant way of asking. Sister Beatrice has asked this question, and she better know she's talking to brethren and not to people who are paid. So that is what I want to begin with. Secondly, now we are going to the point that brother has asked us. Brother has asked us a question and he wants an answer in a minute. No. Is there anybody there who can answer this question? No, it takes time. We need to prepare ourselves. We don't want to give just an answer and send you away. No. We want to study it in great depth. This is a question that has been asked by one brother. It is a question in all the congregation, all the brothers. So that is what we take in mind. And so we are serious when we begin to bring an answer. Thirdly, every teacher is accountable to God. And if his teaching is not proper, then he is given a double punishment. So when we use our words and convince people, we are doing in the knowledge and presence of God and asking him for his guidance and blessings to teach us and to explain to us, and so that we can teach them forward. Having said all that, I think now Brother Charles Okota has left, I think. It's come back. Okay. So we begin with the question. I'm going to read it from the book of Mark, chapter 5, verse 6 onwards to maybe around 10. Am I being heard?
Yes.
Okay. Seeing Jesus from a distance, he ran up and bowed down before him, and shouting with a loud voice, he said, "What business do we have with each other? Jesus, Son of the Most High God, I implore you by God, do not torment me." For he had been saying to him, "Come out of the man, you unclean spirit." And he was asking him, "What is your name?" And he said to him, "My name is Legion, for we are many." And he began to implore him earnestly not to send them out of the country. Now there was a large herd of swine feeding nearby on the mountain. The demons implored him, saying, "Send us into the swine so that we may enter them." Jesus gave them the permission, and coming out, the unclean spirits entered the swine, and the herd rushed down the steep bank into the sea, about 2,000 of them, and they were drowned in the sea. Brother Opong, my question to you is, what is wrong with the scriptures here, or what explanation do you need? Please.
Hello. Hello, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Question.
Yeah, my question is, why is the demon instructing what? Why is the demon choosing what Jesus should do to him? Why is he instructing that I want you to do me this way? That's my main concern about this question.
If I may understand you well, you're trying to say that why the demon wanted to go to the swine.
Why are they instructing Jesus? What they want to be done?
Why are they instructing Jesus that?
Okay. Why is the demon instructing Jesus to send them?
Exactly,
right?
Exactly. You are a demon. You are instructing somebody that.
Oh, I'm not a demon, please. Brother Opong, I'm not a demon. You are a demon, you're a demon. I got frightened, boy. Okay, now we look at the scriptures. When Jesus came down and he saw this man struggling, he called out, okay? Now, upon seeing Jesus, the demon-possessed man ran up and bowed down, the scripture says, before him, and shouting with a loud voice, he said, "What business do we have with each other, Jesus, Son of the Most High God?" Those who think this man was insane cannot explain why he would approach Jesus to worship him and call him by name. He calls Jesus the Son of the Most High God. You see, this was done by very few people during Jesus' ministry. You see, on the night of his trial, Jesus himself was put under an oath to admit, and he regarded himself to be the Christ or the Messiah. He agreed with the high priest statement on this topic. Before praying in the Garden of Gethsemane, he had admitted to the apostles, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but through me. You see, he was revealing clearly to the 12. The approach of these demons may be typical of those demons referred to by James who believe and shudder. You see, in the book of James chapter 2 and verse 19, he says, they also believe and they shudder. Did the demons cause the man to fall down in worship to placate Jesus, hoping to persuade him not to force them out of the man? Whether their worship was sincere or insincere is a matter of concern. They knew Jesus to be the Son of the Most High God. They recognized his power over them and were in fear and awe of him. The man with the unclean spirit said to Jesus, I implore you, by God, do not torment me. You see, the King James Version would say, I adjure you. This better reflects the legal term used there, which demons an attempt to force a confession from the one being adjured. Jesus had already given the command, come out of them, you unclean spirit. You see, the demons were apparently thinking that since Christ's prayers had power with God, they might convince him to utter one in their behalf. This was a request for Jesus to put himself under oath and swear by God. Jesus ignored it. He gave the appeal little attention it deserved, considering the source. You see that he said, I implore you by God, do not torment me. So when Jesus is put under oath, Jesus will now, they believe, can have a prayer with Father, and he might beg forgiveness from the Father to leave them alone. So the demons were playing a sort of a game with Jesus, thinking that they can turn his mind or change his mind, so that he will leave them alone. Because they were not bothering anybody, they were only bothering one man and leave him alone. But Jesus had already issued the command, come out of them, you unclean spirit. You see, it is evident that Satan does not know the mind of God or of man. This may be one reason that with the Lord's help, we can conquer him. Matthew 8 and verse 29, somebody can read that for me, please.
Matthew 8:29. It reads, and suddenly they cried out, saying, what have we to do with you, Jesus, you Son of God? Have you come here to torment us before the time?
Thank you, brother. Have you come here to torment us before our time? Because Satan himself knows there's going to be a day of judgment when Jesus will come. Now, Jesus is a man on earth. But they know who he is as a man on earth. They knew that he was the Son of God. Therefore, they're saying, when you come into your judgment that is way far off, why do you come and torment us now? We know where we are going. But why do you do it to us now? So they were asking time with Jesus. Give us some more time. We know at the end of it all, we are going to go where we are going to go. For it is said in Matthew 25 and verse 41 that there's a place meant for devil and his angels. So they're asking Jesus, why do you want to send us there before our time? They're only trying to convince Jesus that give us our lease of time. Then eventually we are going to face what we have to face in judgment. Till judgment time, at least leave us alone, oh Jesus. So that is why the Satan was asking some kind of a relief for them. And here we again read in Luke chapter 8 and verse 31. Somebody can read that for me, Luke 8:31.
Luke 8 and verse number 31. And they begged him that he would not command them to go out into the abyss.
Thank you, brother. They knew that what is abyss? Jesus has got the key to abyss, is said in the book of Revelation. He is the one who's holding the key. When you read 2 Peter chapter 2 and verse 4, it talks about the pit of darkness. It is talking about Tartarus. It's talking about a place where Satan are bound in chains. The book of Jude tells us they are bound in chain and waiting for punishment. Book of Peter tells us they're waiting for punishment. Brethren, this is what they were scared of. So let them enjoy for some more time before they have to go to that pit for all times. So they don't want to suffer from now, and therefore they're begging Jesus to leave them. so that the Father will just listen to Jesus' prayer and say, Father, I commend myself into your hands. I commend myself to ask you to take this Satan away and leave them for some time so that they will have good life on earth, and then afterwards you can burn them in hell. They thought Jesus would pray something like this, or even more forcibly. But the point is, Jesus did not have any of such notions in his mind. He was more committed to doing the right things, the righteousness of God. And therefore, they thought that they could just hoodwink Jesus and fool him into getting them some more time. You know what happened basically? Luke 8:31 explains that they were fearful of being cast into the abyss, where they would have continual agony in a disembodied state. To be disembodied means to be in a disembodied. The disembodied state is what basically the spirit form, and they were scared of going into the darkness. These demons knew that the threats of God were not futile, and one day their destruction would come. That is more than many people today acknowledge. If you read the book of Revelation, chapter 9, verse 1 to 11, it speaks of one who had the key to the abyss and let out all manner of evil forces which cause suffering. In the colorful figures of the apocalypse, this may simply be describing what happens when evil comes upon the earth to work its terrible harm in a vain effort to overcome Christ and the world. The demons were aware that they would face judgment when the time for that event was to be. The passage does not say when. They knew, but they were aware, like all of us are aware. There is a day when we will be judged. It is entirely possible that the demons lost great power at the time of Jesus' resurrection, when he had led captive a host of captives and then left behind gifts to maintain the restraint of Satan until such demon possession was eliminated together. Until his final overthrow, Satan may retain some of the power, but the New Testament shows he cannot harm those who have the seed, that is, those who are God's people. Brethren, when Jesus was resurrected, what the devil did not believe was life even after death. But all the while, Jesus was only asleep. Jesus was not dead. The Spirit of Jesus was living within him in his body at that point in time. And therefore, Jesus was called out and he came out. The Spirit calls him out, the Father calls him out, and he comes out. So when the demons saw, they were very nervous. Now there is defeat for us, because we have won over here, that God has won over death also. He brought his Son out as the first fruit. So that is why they were very scared of him. And all those people, as per the book of Revelation, we saw, all those who do not have the mark on them. Brethren, you and I have the mark of Jesus. If you read the book of Revelation, chapter 7 and verse 3 and 4 and 9 verse 4, you see that there's a great crowd that is seen, all wearing white robes. Who are these? John is asking. They said, these are the ones from all tribes, all nations, all tongues. And these are the ones who are wearing the white cloak of God. Therefore, brethren, Satan sees all this and is very, very nervous about the whole thing. Verse 9 says, Jesus next asked, what is your name? He said, my name is Legion, for we are many. His answer does not tell us whether this is meant of a particular demon or a group of them. Among the Romans, when you go to see, a legion means at least about 6,000 soldiers. Some calculate at 4 and some calculate at 6. The 6,000 soldiers are there now who have been selected to do the work of the country. Verses 10 to 12 says, and evidently these demons could speak either inside or outside the body of a man. The text implies that Jesus was already in the process of casting out the demons. And as they came out of the man, they were speaking to Jesus. The demons implored him, saying, send us to the swine, so that we may enter them. They were asking him to send them into the swine feeding nearby on the mountain, rather than sending them out of the country. The entire I could say that Jesus was facing this encounter, and something very unique knowledge came out from Jesus. He knew the habit of the demons. One application for us is the concept of the filling our lives with something good is far better than merely getting of evil in our lives. Jesus told the scribes and the Pharisees in Matthew chapter 12, verse 43 to 45. What did Jesus say? Now, when the unclean spirit gone out of the man, it passes through waterless places seeking rest and does not find it. And then it says, I will return to my house from whence I came. And when it comes, it finds it unoccupied, swept, and put in order. Then it goes and takes along with it 7 other spirits more wicked than itself, and they go in and live there. And the last state of that man becomes worse than the first. That is why it will also be with this evil generation. You see, Jesus was saying that a demon, after being exorcised, could re-enter a man due to the emptiness of the man's life and could bring other demons with him, even demons more wicked than himself. The latter idea does not seem to have been a danger in the case of the man, even though Jesus said in Matthew that such a thing could happen. Admittedly, there is much we do not know about demons. However, if we abide by the clear Testament teachings concerning them, one thought stands out: Jesus had convincing power over them. They were obviously subject to his command. 13th verse, we see Jesus gave them permission, and coming out, the unclean spirits entered the swine, and the herd rushed down to the steep bank into the sea. Mark sometimes mentions numbers where the other gospel accounts omit such information or express it differently. In this context, a large number of herd of swine, about 2,000, ran into the sea and were drowned. We do not know whether a few caused a stampede or the demons filled all the swine. Some have asked, did Jesus have the right to destroy 2,000 pigs that were the livelihood of their owners? If the owners were Jews, then raising pigs was unlawful for them. If that was the case, Jesus may have wanted to prick their consciences. Perhaps he knew what would happen and thought, these Jews know hog meat is forbidden to Jews, and the drowning of their herd of the pigs will be an important lesson for them. Regardless, it was the demons or Satan that destroyed the pigs, not Jesus. More likely, the pig herders were Gentiles. In that case, by allowing the demons to enter into the swine and by allowing the destruction, Jesus made it evident to these people who did not know God that a miracle had taken place. The Pharisees had accused Jesus of being in league with the devil, and this action was vivid evidence against that false accusation. Why then did Jesus not give this demonstration in Judea instead of across the Sea of Galilee? Was it because some Jews, like the Pharisees, who did not want to believe, would have rejected this evidence also? Besides, he had already answered the accusation brilliantly, using logic to show that he was not in fellowship with Satan. Satan ought to destroy the possessed person. Jesus came to save and to give rest. Brethren, from all that we have read up till the verse 13, I would conclude it in a very simple way by saying that when the man who had the demon in his body saw Jesus, he was not the one who's seeing Jesus. It was the demons who were seeing and looking at Jesus. And they knew the intent of Jesus when he came. He wanted to give life to that man who was dead. He wanted to bring that man because the Son of Man came down to the earth to save sinners and to save all the lost ones. So Jesus was doing the job of giving him life. That was Jesus' right, and it was Jesus' duty. Today it's your duty and my duty to preach the gospel to save lives. In the book of Jude, verse 21 or 22, where it says that you have to pull them out of the fire, taking care of your own garments and taking care of yourself. You see, our duty is to bring them out. And if I go to exorcise somebody, if I had the power, and if I was doing something good for that man, was it bad? It was bad for the demons. It was good for God. So Jesus went to do the good thing to bring out the demon from inside. But what did the demons start crying out when they came out? You know, it is always the case that they live on somebody who's alive and they don't enter with somebody who is dead. Even the demon finds no pleasure in living in a dead person because he knows the dead person is gone. But he wants to thrive in a person who's living. So therefore, they have taken their abode in a man who was living. And they stayed in his body so much that they drove him mad. They made him crazy. They made him dangerous. And so these demons came to know that this Jesus has come to remove them out You know, when the dogs have those ticks and fleas and all those things, they have to be pulled out and put into some kind of kerosene or petrol or something to kill them up. So we have to literally pull them out. In the same case, Jesus came out to pull one by one outside. Now these demons also know that they need to live, because in that one man there were more than a legion of demons. So in one man, so they needed place to get into everywhere. So what do they do now? At the most, they could have got into the herdsmen. But what they asked was, don't take us out. We need to live. So Jesus, this is not our time. Why do you have come to kill us before our time? Please remove us and do not send us anywhere away. We just want to live somewhere and thrive. So that is why when the man said, when the demon said that they wanted to come out and go somewhere, there was a herd of swine and they saw it. Jesus did not even look at the herd of swine. You see, Jesus was unaware, he was busy about doing his work and to destroy Satan. You see what happens sometimes when you see that there are some weeds in the garden. We pull out the weeds and throw, thinking that no weeds will come again. Same thing when we see that there is there is a wild lion in the village roaming about. People take their guns and kill him so that it doesn't come here again. So we don't want that. But when the demon is pulled out and left like that alone somewhere, he quickly enters into somebody else. He has to thrive on somebody else only once he's on his way. So we know that in those days when demons were freely moving around this earth, they used to go to somebody and find themselves some place. So in this case, the demons are looking out for a place and immediately they looked at the swines. So they said, take us out and send us there. So at least we will live the swine. Maybe the Satan was thinking, but temporarily Jesus will go away. Then afterwards we'll leave the swine and we'll run into somebody else. So that was the plan of the demons probably. So Jesus said, you have asked for it. Now you go into it. You asked for it. I was to destroy. He said, do not kill us before our time. Okay, I don't kill you before your time. All right. But now where do you want to go? You said you want to go on the swines. Well, I oblige you by sending you to the swine. So the evil, all of them, they ran into the swine. But now what happened when they entered the swine? The swine was going through a different reaction in his body. They all got mad. Sorry. And they started behaving very rough. And they started behaving very badly. They could not be controlled. So the pig also did not understand what they're doing. So all in a frenzy, they jumped into the river and they all got drowned. To sea, and they all got drowned. Now, when they got drowned, they were dead. So what happens with that which was inside the dead body also dies. So the punishment has already come to them. They do not thrive when the person is dead. They want to come out of it now. They could not come out of it. So they all went into the same place and they died. Now, they were worried about what? One thing next was the abyss. Abyss was a place of torment for them. Tartarus was a place of torment for them. Peter used the word Tartarus. Marx uses the word abyss. And in the book of Revelation, Jesus has the key to the abyss. So he puts all these people inside. All even at the time of Noah, those people who sinned, and the time of Noah, they sinned, and they were all put there. So we know that they've got a place to go, and the place of torment. That is what these people feared. So it is not that Jesus was taking instruction from Satan. Jesus was knowing they are digging their own grave. So Jesus was happy. Okay, you want to die in that manner? Well, for me, it's okay, because the end result is you're going back to the abyss. So that is why they entered. Now in the book of Matthew, we read from chapter 12, verse 43 to 45. What does it say? Even if you remove Satan from one man, and that man is not again getting back himself refilled with the good things and the word of God, his heart is again open, and it is well furnished now, cleaned by Jesus. So the Satan comes roving around here and there, everywhere he sees, and finally he finds this man's heart is empty. So he jumps into his heart and takes place. And this man's now life is worse. 7 times more Satan have entered into demons have entered into him, and they're wrecking his life more. Therefore, a lesson we got to take from here. So at the time of baptism, when the evil was driven away from your body and you were baptized for the forgiveness of sin, your heart and your soul was open and it was clean. And that is the time you got to fill up with the word of God. That is why it is said that once you have got, we have fellowship, have congregational fellowship, be strengthened by one and all. So that is what exactly it is saying. And we do not capitalize on this. We have done that and go and meet our same fellow with whom we are drinking. Hey, buddy. No, man. I've changed. I'm not drinking at all now. Then again, that hey buddy goes on for 10 times. And the 11th time, he becomes your real buddy. And he also does, you also do what he's doing again. He says, what man, at this age you're doing? These are all for old people. Yeah, man, even I sometimes feel I did the wrong, I did the wrong thing by getting baptized so soon, man. I should have enjoyed life more. You see, several things happen. So that is how the Satan enters back into you. Now we see from the whole text, the meaning of the swines getting into was not because the demons instructed him, not because of that Jesus was taking instruction. The point Jesus had was he wanted to kill them all by way, and even the Gentiles, when they saw, they realized that there was a miracle, and this miracle is the Son of God who has got the power to do that. Many of them changed, and the one mistake that they did was, Jesus, go away and leave us alone. You have destroyed all our fortune and everything. That one mistake they did. That's what happens to preachers alone. Please leave our door, go to the next door, leave us alone. So these are the things, lessons that we get from here. And as far as the Satan, the demons were concerned, that they were living inside the swine, was not that Jesus was taking instruction, but Jesus concurred with them and said, if that is the way you want to die, I send you there to die. So that's how they died. Even if you remember the man, I think Matthew chapter 17, when that boy was frothing and all, when the evil had come out, and he became so humble. You see, but when the evil comes out, it goes to another place and settles down. He does things worse for all of them. So the best thing is to kill that evil and put him away so that he doesn't feature again. And 2,000, which were so freely roaming in the Decapolis, that place, it will never come back again. Thank you, Brother Frank, for enabling me to speak. And we also have Sister Beatrice on the platform with a question of the last week. And we only miss Sister Mary. But after Brother Opong is happy and satisfied, let him ask us 100 questions. We are here to sit to answer him all the 100 questions. Thank you, bro.
Thank you very much. Let me probably make it simpler from what you have said. What I understand is when the demons saw Jesus, they knew Jesus was going to kill them, to send them to hell of Sheol, where they were going to be tormented. Little did they know that when they enter the pigs are going to die. The demon will not live in a dead pig, so they were in the short run going to die as well. So whatever they feared is actually the end of what they gained. At the end, that's what they gained. So Jesus, being all-knowing, knew that if even they enter the swine, it's going to be the end of them, because we're going to die and be sent into the abyss. Bravo.
Hello, my friend. My friend.
Have you got it?
I've got it, but right now I can't. I've got another question again, because
no. Is this one answer?
I never knew that the demon died in the water.
For no, they entered the pig, right? The demons cannot live in any dead body. Looking at what is in Matthew 17, if they had the chance to live, then they would have probably re-entered somebody else. But they requested to be sent to the pigs. They went into the pigs died. So definitely are also going to die. Okay. But initially, their fear was Jesus going to kill them, to send them to the abyss. But their request also sent them to the same place anyway.
The same place. Okay. But because the quotation was saying that time was not meant for them to die.
Mm-hmm.
That's why
they cannot dictate to Jesus, but they were afraid. What they were afraid was what they got finally anyway.
Okay. I think it is clear to me now anyway.
Okay. So what they feared, they chose an option, and that option ended them wherever they wanted, whatever would have been their final destination before their time.
Brother Frank.
Hello, Sister Beatrice.
So how long did it take for the demons to die? Like how long did they stay inside the pigs before
Bible says as they entered the pig and the pig they were all drowned. So as soon as the pig drowned and they died, the demons also died over there, and their destination will be in the abyss, waiting for their final judgment.
One thing is, I know.
Hello, Brother Vincent.
No, let her complete the question. I want to answer her only. Yeah, go ahead,
Okay.
sister.
Go, Sister Beatrice.
Yeah. So my question has disappeared now. It had just gone out. Yeah. Yeah. Let Brother Vincent come in.
Vincent.
It will come back. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Now, sister, the life of the demons were only as long as the pig lived. Now, suppose I'm pushed out from a cliff into the river and I don't know to swim. I will take only about 2 minutes to die, or 1 minute, as long as my lungs can hold me. And then I die. So the same time, when I die, what happens? My spirit and my soul, they go to the place of resting in Hades. Same thing. For demons, there is nothing known as Hades. There's a place called Tartarus. And that place is called Abyss as well. So when they are dead, they go into that place of Tartarus or Abyss. That is where even the demons at the time of Noah, when those giants were there and all that, everything happened, God felt so bad that he thought that the very thought of a man is evil. So at that point in time, how many of them were evil? They were dead. Their evil spirit which was there in them, they all went into that place. Therefore, it is kept in the abyss. That's what Jude talks about. They are chained up and kept. So that is where they go. Since I don't have a Bible, I have nothing with me today, so I just cannot even quote it from which portion of Jude it is, but it is there that they are reserved in chains. Okay, and even in Peter also we see that they are reserved in chains. So what happens is now, whenever such spirit comes, the spirit is destroyed by Christ, being put them straight into the abyss, so that they don't come back to to take place and be in power. Now, therefore, whenever we see Jesus exorcising or Jesus removing the demon, they are sent straight over there. And that is why these Satans knew where they had to go. So that is why the demons knew where they had to go. That's why they're pleading, don't remove us. Jesus, don't remove us. We know where you will send us. You will send us into the abyss. And we don't want to go to the abyss because our time has not come. What was the time? The time is judgment time, when all of them will go into Tartarus at one time. All of them will go to that abyss at one time. He says, still that we are living and thriving here on this earth, please let us live and thrive. Please leave us alone. Please let us do what we want. Please let us enjoy life here. Please let us take more souls to our place where we are going. We don't want to go with few people. We need a greater army. We want to defeat God and show him. So this is the pleading. The demons did not know that they were going to die. This itself shows that they are not omnipotent. So they are not aware of what the next thing. They are not aware of the mind of God. They are not aware of the mind of the Spirit. So they have a limitation. Therefore, they make this mistake. Please don't take us out and put us there. So definitely when the swine is falling, the swine is dead. So when the swine is dead, then they collect themselves and go to the abyss without even being asked to go. So that is a clear explanation of this, where they go after that. It is not that Jesus wanted to send them. They thought it was a better choice. See, their wisdom. They were foolish in their wisdom. They thought we'll trick Jesus by asking us to leave there. Then quietly we'll get up and run away and go and sit on somebody else.
Okay, like, so they
called me today. You're a demon. We are a demon. I thought, so, oh, man, one is coming to me now today. What do you say, Brother Paul?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Sister Beatrice.
Yes. So what I wasn't sure of is, why did Jesus listen to the demons when he knows how much these demons has been tormenting this his son?
Yes.
And isn't it because he sent these demons into the pigs? That's why it has left a question mark on as Christians, or not Christian, like most people avoiding to eat like pigs, when we know that Christ came to sanctify everything, so we can eat anything that we want, knowing that Christ has purified or sanctified everything for us.
Yes, everything has been sanctified, right? What is
Yes.
happening in this context, right, is that the demons, they are not all-knowing. Jesus Christ is all-knowing. So they requested that Jesus permit them to enter the pigs, knowing it's not their time. So they didn't want to be in the abyss at that time.
Yes,
but they go into the pigs, ended in the pigs dying. Those pigs cannot live in the dead pig. So definitely they also died and went to the same abyss where they did not want to go. Jesus is all-knowing. So with Jesus allowing that, he knew their final destination there and then. So those who are not eating pigs and think it's because the demons entered the pigs, those pigs that the demons entered went into the sea and died. They all got drowned with the demons in there. The demons also died. And where they did not want to go, they wanted to linger around a little bit. Everything ended. So wherever they didn't want to go, because Jesus is all-knowing and knew that to be their final destination, he permitted it. That's the route they chose to go to abyss. So at then, all the demons, all the pigs died. And as we said, the final destination will be Tartarus, where...
Yeah, that's where I still don't understand, because if demons have a choice to choose where they want to live or go, that means everyone, when you sin and the time comes, you should be able to tell God where you want to be.
No,
no, it's not that.
Looking at it,
that is a complicated way of doing things.
If these demons had that opportunity to tell Jesus that we don't want to go here, but rather
at the end of it, they went to the same place they didn't want to go there and then.
So Jesus should have just cast them into that place straight away. With that, like sometimes this question keeps coming, that in the first place, why did Jesus throw Satan down on earth when he knows what Satan did? Even though Satan was one of the angels, when he disobeyed God threw him down to the earth. When he knows his children are here, and this Satan, when he comes, he's gonna do worse to us. Why did he throw him in the first place to us, to come and torment us, you know? So all these things, sometimes it comes, and when you meet people and you are trying to convince them to accept Christ, they keep asking that why. God knows that his children are here, and he sent Satan to come and torment us. So it's like they find it hard to accept that.
I will answer you, sister. I will answer your question. You see, when you talk about heaven, is heaven a pure place or an impure place? I think you'll agree with me, it's a pure place. It's a holy place. It's a God's presence there. Can sin be acceptable in heaven? So we as sinners can go to heaven. God does not want even an iota of sin in heaven. Just because there is nobody who's not sinned and everybody has sinned, God wanted to do something and send his son as a sacrifice through the blood of his son, which had the atoning power. So because of that only that we are here on this earth. Now for God to keep Satan up in heaven for what and for how long? Book of Revelation chapter 12. I beg you?
He should have just killed him there and there.
No,
because,
that answer also I will give you. You spoke like man, you never thought like God. God thinks in a different way. My thoughts are not your thoughts. Neither are your ways my ways. Why did God throw down that serpent and he came and tempted and we lost that garden of paradise and we lost the fellowship with God? Why? If God had killed that Satan on the spot, you know, there were angels from the Satan brought down along with him. That was his army. This army is against the army, the host of heaven up above. So now these are watching what is happening down on this earth. If God had to do that, kill the Satan, throttled him and finished him up, the question will linger in the minds of the Satan. There was some truth in it. And that's why God just silenced him. And that truth we will never know. So they waited for God. So God said one thing, I'll throw you down, go down. He sent him down. And therefore, now God gave him a chance to do all that he wants, only to vindicate God's name. to exonerate God's name. So they were asking. Otherwise, people would have all thought, oh, the Satan had some truth to say, and that is what God is like. So all the other Satan will look against God and say, why did you do that? Why aren't you telling us the truth? What happened? And that's why when Satan came and destroyed everybody, God sent man. And God sent man. Today, why are you struggling in life? God has given his son to you. You have been blessed by his blood. So you will be happy. You're going to heaven. Otherwise, you would not have gone when the sin was there. And God could not put away sin because God has given the free choice. God gave the choice to Adam. He chose, and that is how it is. And today, if you are thinking of a pig as an evil animal, then you are having the Jewish tradition still in your body. Would you like to eat pork when I make in my house and give you? Sister Beatrice?
Yes.
No, nobody eats my pork, so at least I want to sell it.
Me, I eat pork, so I eat.
Yeah. And is it right that you're eating pork? Is it scriptural?
Because I know Christ has, everything has been sanctified, so I can eat it.
Okay. Then in that case, you read Mark 7:19.
Mark, did you say?
7 verse 19.
7 verse 19. Just a minute. Mark 7:19. Mark 7 verses 19. It says, for it doesn't go into their heart, but into their stomach. And then out of the body, into brackets, in saying this, Jesus declared all foods clean.
Jesus declared all foods clean, we can eat that. 1
Yes.
Timothy chapter 4, verse 4 and 5 and 6. Somewhere. Read that for me, please. Anybody else can read it? 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse
Timothy 4 verses
3, 4, 5, 6. Read that for me, please. I don't have a Bible, so I don't know which first or second.
Verses 3. They forbid people to marry and order them to abstain from certain foods, which God created to be received with thanksgiving by those who believe and who know the truth. Verse 4. For everything God created is good, and nothing is to be rejected if it is received with thanksgiving. 5.
Amen.
Yeah, because it is consecrated by the word of God and prayer. 6.
Thank you, sister. That's enough.
Okay. Yeah.
Everything you eat is consecrated to God in prayer.
Yeah.
You pray for the food that you've got, and God says that He blesses the food. If you see the Catholic and the congregation, how they pray, bless us, O Lord, and give us thy gifts, which we are about to receive from thy bounty through Christ our Lord. Amen. Brother Frank, am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's how it is. The food is consecrated to God, so God makes it holy. So that is why nothing today in this world is evil. The only thing that is evil in this world is us. We are doing things knowingly after knowing the word of God and everything, and we're still living in sin. So we are evil. So the evil that was destroyed, every evil that was removed by Jesus was put to death in the abyss. So all these fellows know where they're going to go. They knew where they're going to. They were crying, oh God, don't put us there, put us there. You see, when you know, like you have done a crime, you shot somebody, you're going to be put in the jail, you know, oh, no, don't put me there, please. I got my children, I got my family, I did it by mistake. You don't want to go there. So that's how the Satan were scared, but they never knew that their choice was wrong, that they wanted to live in the pigs. And they see that they don't have wisdom, they don't have foresight, they only got limited wisdom. So what happened? They thought we'll go inside and keep riding as far as the pigs are taking. Yay, jolly good ride. But the jolly good ride ended there only in 5 minutes. They just came down the cliff and one over the other and they all died. So they made the wrong choice. Jesus understood that these evil fellows are asking for their own death. They're asking, they're signing their own warrant. Okay. Chief judge said, okay, go. You want it that way? Have it. So they never realized that they would die, but now they died. And when they were dead, they had gone back to abyss, where God had already planned for them. Brother Opam, I think I have satisfactorily answered your question. And Sister Beatrice, I think I've answered you as well. I'm giving Brother Frank the last 2 or 3 minutes, then afterward the prayer, and I get to go back to my work. Thank you, brother.
Thank you very much. I think our time is up. So probably, Sister Beatrice, your question will be at another time. Answer to your question will be at another time. I think you answered a question that last time about musical instruments. And,
yes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, our time is up today. No
I hope she's satisfied with what answer she got just now.
Yeah, are you satisfied with the response?
Yes, it's okay because at the end, God, there are some questions that we can't have the answers except God, He understands, and so we just leave it like that. Like what has hindered us, we just leave it to hinder us until the time comes. Then, He can reveal it to us. And
there are some questions we can answer. I think the question about why Satan was sent here has been answered, unless you are not satisfied with the answer.
Why you said why who was
why Satan was thrown to the earth?
To the earth.
Yeah.
Thank
you answered.
It's okay. Thank you.
Okay. And Bro Paul, you also answered.
Yeah, but Frank, I'm answered.
Okay.
What I can, I just want to add a little bit.
Yeah.
Frank, this is a platform that we've created to learn 24 hours, not only Sundays. So if there's some question that cannot be answered, you should let us know that maybe it cannot be answered now. We will talk about it so that the communication, when the communication comes, that we know that, okay, at this day, maybe we get an answer. But when we ask something and no one responds, it's like, you know what I mean? It's
okay.
It's not nice.
Thank you very much. But
all answers can be,
right?
Frank, all answers can be given on Sundays only. So during the week, we have time, we don't have time, or we can call, because the question is asked for the platform, not for one-on-one basis. No, so we'll take it on Sundays, all answers. Yeah. Thank you, bro.
All right, thank you
also,
for that.
And also, bro, if a question is asked, it's not like instantly we can give an answer. Just as Brother Vincent said, whoever is going to answer that question has also got a responsibility to ensure that the accurate answer is being given. So if a question is asked and we are given enough time, all of us go into research into it, all of us pray about it, and then we all come to an answer. It's not going to be an instant thing, giving an answer to a question, and then later we say, oh no, I found this. So if a question is asked and time is allowed, then we all can delve into it, study it on our own, and then come to a common understanding. Yeah. So if a question is asked and there's no response, the question is not asked to me or to Brother Vincent, it's to all of us. It's all of us. We are all studying. We are all learning. We are learning from each other. If we have it that way, then it won't be a task of one person to give me the answer. We are all learning. The apostles were inspired. God revealed everything to them, but we have to study to know. So please, if a question is asked, if we can be patient to wait for the answer. As I said, it's asked to the whole platform. It's not to a particular person.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So we got 14 of us. Thank you all very much for your time to join the Bible discussion. And God bless you, Brother Vincent, for your in-depth explanation to the question that was asked. I think there's a question for Sister Beatrice and Sister Mary, I think, or was it Sister Rehab? One of the sisters, Sister Mary, I think Marilyn, which God willing, the next time we meet, we will look into that one as well. But I think this question, I think, has been well answered. They requested for something, and what they requested ended them up to where they knew they were going, to put it simply that way. So thank you all for coming, and God bless us all. So as usual, we will end our session with a word of prayer.